Tesla's next gigafactory location unknown, but all signs point toward India. In May, Tesla CEO Elon Musk said the electric automaker would likely announce its next gigafactory location by year's end. While there have been rumors of deep talks in Spain, numerous meetings with French government officials, and heavy speculation regarding a relationship with Canada, Indonesia, and South Korea, it is becoming overwhelmingly clear that all signs are pointing toward India, a location where Tesla has mulled a factory for several years. It all started back in 2015 when Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Musk had their first meeting at the Fremont factory in Northern California. At the time, Tesla was still a young and scrappy car company, pushing out just thousands of units each year as it only offered the Model S and Model X at the time. Electric vehicles were still a far cry from what they are today, and while there were other options on the market, gas-powered options still dominated the overall market. Fast forward to 2018, when Tesla decided to open its first vehicle production factory outside of the United States in Shanghai. The Chinese EV production plant quickly became Tesla's most effective, accumulating thousands of workers and producing a majority of the automaker's annual volume. It went from a domestic production facility for Chinese customers to an export hub that would feed some of the best-selling EVs to the European market. This all happened before Tesla would commit to building a factory near Berlin in 2019. And then another factory in Mexico in 2023. In 2021, Tesla seemed primed to announce it would make a substantial investment in India. It had a team of executives lined up, which included David Feinstein, Tesla vet who would be named Director of Global Trade and New Markets. Vaibhav Taneja was assigned as the Chief Accounting Officer for the India plant, and Prashanth R. Menon assumed the role of Director of Tesla India. The team was even rounded out with Manoj Khurana for Policy and Development, Nishant Nishant for Charging Infrastructure, and Chitra Thomas for Human Resources. Samir Jain was set to take over India's service operations for Tesla after 7 years at Porsche, where he headed after-sales for the German automaker's operations in India. However, the team Tesla would put together for India would never get to work in the market, as it was set to establish the plant there. Tesla had certain demands it needed to fulfill before committing to a gigafactory there. And India had certain demands it needed to fulfill before giving Tesla what it wanted. Tesla, India talks stagnate as neither party is willing to budge on terms. India has some of the highest import duties on vehicles in the world. The taxes would double the price of any car priced over $40,000 and 60% to any car under that threshold. Because of this, Tesla requested import duties be reduced to 40%, which would help the company determine if demand for its cars was high enough to move forward. However, Indian officials were reluctant to oblige to Tesla's demands, arguing that company-specific duty rollbacks would not be possible. The government has made its stance against company-specific incentives clear, government officials from India said. This also applies for one particular company requesting industry-wide changes to existing policy. Over the past 4 years, multiple demands were made by a large US-based firm to open up the market at lower import duties as well. Now, they locally produce in India and are ramping up capacity. India has a $27 billion manufacturing initiative called Make in India, which encourages companies from all corners of the globe to develop, produce, and assemble products in India with sizable investments. This initiative was first introduced in 2014 by Modi. Because Tesla would be importing vehicles from other countries, most likely China, into India's marketplace, government officials were unfavorable of the idea of rolling back duties. However, they were willing to do so only if Tesla would commit to building the factory in the first place, which completely eliminated the purpose of testing demand in the first place. 2 years later, it appears Tesla and India have come to some kind of agreement, although the terms of a partnership or investment are unknown currently. Both Modi and Musk have put forth statements that seem to indicate Tesla's next factory will be in India. "I am confident Tesla will be in India, and will do so as soon as humanly possible," Musk said. "Hopefully, we'll be able to announce something in the not-too-distant future. We don't want to jump the gun on an announcement," he added, "but it's quite likely that there will be a significant investment and relationship in the future." Modi also posted his own photo with Musk on his Twitter account, thanking the Tesla CEO for a great meeting. Because of the widespread speculation regarding Tesla's next factory, we can all speculate on where it will end up. But if there is any indication of what the automaker wants and what the government wants, the long-standing attempts to get a deal done may indicate Tesla is most likely to end up in India. Source: reposted and summarized from Joey Klender at Teslarati. Tesla rumored to be purchasing wireless charging company Wiferion. Tesla is rumored to be purchasing wireless charging company Wiferion, a Freiburg, Germany-based entity with charging and power solutions. Wiferion describes itself as the industry's leading supplier of automated, wireless power supply systems. The company has worked to provide over 100 companies with wireless charging solutions since 2015, when it initially started developing products. Wiferion entered the North American market after reaching a global licensing agreement with Watricity last year, which unveiled its wireless charging tech using a Tesla last year. A report from Grunderzine Business Insider states that Wiferion is set to offload its business to Tesla International BV. A filing in the German Commercial Register indicates the shareholders intend to sell their shares in the company to Tesla International BV by means of a purchase agreement, the filing said. Tesla International BV is a wholly owned subsidiary that operates out of the Netherlands. The publication went on to ask two Wiferion investors if the sale was taking place, and they confirmed it but would not say what company the deal would be with. The deal could be a work in progress toward Tesla's wireless charging device, which it seemed to quietly unveil during the shareholder meeting earlier this year. Tesla showed a vehicle sitting above a wireless charging pad in a garage, seemingly hinting toward a wireless charging module that would soon be on the way. Tesla teases mysterious wireless home charger on Investor Day. Tesla has used company acquisitions as a means to move certain projects forward in the past. In 2019, Tesla acquired Maxwell Technologies, only to sell it a couple of years later in 2021. It also bought Habar Systems in late 2019. Both of these purchases were groundbreaking moves to help Tesla develop in-house battery cells, which it produces at several of its manufacturing locations, including in California and Texas. Source: reposted and summarized from Joey Klender at Teslarati. Texas will require NACS compatibility to get public funding for chargers. Another day brings more significant news related to the transition from the CCS1 to the NACS fast charging standard in the United States. According to an exclusive report from Reuters, the Texas Department of Transportation will introduce an additional requirement of NACS compatibility to new charging infrastructure, if companies would like to get federal funding. Texas saying it would require electric vehicle charging companies to include both Tesla's standard, as well as the nationally recognized CCS. If they want to be part of a state program to electrify highways using federal dollars. Let's recall that, on the federal level, there is up to $7.5 billion available for charging infrastructure, as long as new projects comply with multiple requirements. Particular states remain in control, as the funds are flowing through their transportation departments, which means that they can add their own additional rules and regulations. The decision by Ford, GM, and now Rivian to adopt NACS changed requirements for Phase 1 of the rollout. The Texas Department of Transportation said in an email to Reuters on Tuesday, adding that it would require direct current fast chargers to have one CCS and one North American Charging Standard (NACS) connector. On the federal level, there is a requirement for a minimum number of combined charging systems CCS1 charging stalls. Even Tesla superchargers will have to have CCS1 to get funds. But between mid-2022 and now, a lot changed in the US. Ford, General Motors, and Rivian are switching from CCS1 to join Tesla's North American Charging Standard NACS charging connector. Because the main point is to make sure that the infrastructure will be ready for the new vehicles. Texas NACS requirements appear to be totally reasonable. They also add a new geographical dimension to the transition. In our humble opinion, if the EV industry is willing to make the switch from the CCS1 to NACS, it should be completed as seamlessly as possible. The best thing to do now would be to update the federal requirement and require both CCS1 and NACS plugs for the next couple of years, to make sure that the older CCS1 compatible vehicles will not be left behind. Let's say that after 2030, only the NACS requirement would remain active, while the CCS1 requirement would be dropped. There will be plenty of CCS1 chargers at that point and adapters to NACS, while new BEVs will be equipped with NACS. We saw a similar process in Europe, where there was a time with 2 or even 3 plugs at one charging unit. Otherwise, some states might follow Texas to rationalize the requirement on the state level. According to the article, there are already a few states which are considering some NACS-related solutions additional points or a requirement. Other states like California, Iowa, and Michigan are reviewing the shifting charging market. And at least one other state is considering giving applicants bonus points on applications if they include the Tesla charging ports. On the other hand, if Tesla's NACS-compatible electric cars have over 60% market share, and there are new NACS-compatible models in the pipeline from other manufacturers, as well as dual-head DC fast chargers CCS1 NACS, then all the requirements are becoming just something on paper. Charging networks will be able to and will have to add NACS to serve the majority of its potential customers from a business perspective. Source: reposted and summarized from Mark Kane at Inside EVS. Tesla AI account teases start of Dojo production next month. One of Tesla's official Twitter accounts appears to have teased something substantial, at least when it comes to the company's efforts to roll out its Dojo supercomputer. As per a graphic that was shared on Twitter, the start of Dojo production is expected to begin in July 2023. Since Elon Musk took over Twitter, Tesla has launched several accounts for its different projects. These included a dedicated account for Tesla Energy, as well as Tesla Charging. More recently, EV enthusiasts observed that a dedicated account for Tesla AI had also been created. Our multimodal neural networks are already in customer vehicles. These networks take in arbitrary modalities such as camera videos, maps, navigation, IMU inertial measurement unit, GPS, etc. As part of its first thread, the Tesla AI account discussed how the company is building the foundational models for autonomous robots. The account also discussed Tesla's multimodal neural networks, which are already deployed in the company's vehicles. A number of posts also discussed how innovations in AI have paved the way for solutions like auto-labeling. All of this is enabled by fleet-scale auto-labeling. By using video data from multiple trips in the same location, we can reconstruct the entire scene. The Tesla AI account highlighted that the company trains its models from a large and extremely diverse set of real-world data from its fleet. This data is then trained on large amounts of compute. To illustrate this point, the Tesla AI Twitter account provided a graph predicting the growth of the company's compute over the coming months. These imagined futures can be action-conditioned to produce different outcomes. The graphic highlighted several optimistic projections for Tesla's AI efforts, such as the start of Dojo production in July 2023. Tesla also projected that its compute will be among the top in the world around January 2024. And by October 2024, Tesla expected its compute to hit 100 exaflops and will be trained on enormous amounts of compute. The deployment of Dojo and the company's training of its models are crucial portions of Tesla's efforts to deploy advanced AI to its consumer products. This is extremely important for solutions such as autopilot and full self-driving, which are designed to replace human drivers on the road, and Optimus, which is designed to perform tasks that are boring, repetitive, and dangerous. Source: reposted and summarized from Simon Alvarez at Teslarati. The Giga Press. Tesla's game-changing manufacturing process goes mainstream. In a recent technical briefing session, Toyota announced a raft of new technologies as it catches up to other carmakers in electric vehicle expansion plans. One of them is Giga casting, wherein a car body is constructed from 2 or 3 main components, simplifying the manufacturing process and reducing costs. Tesla was the first to widely use the Giga Press, and multiple carmakers have attempted to emulate the approach. Geely uses the megacasting technique for the Zeekr 009 MPV, and General Motors is reportedly using it for its upcoming flagship EV, the Cadillac Celestiq. Volvo and Hyundai have similar plans as well. The Giga Press is a die casting machine used to stamp aluminum sheets into large parts of a car's body. Tesla is believed to have first used it on the Model Y, reportedly replacing assemblies consisting of 70 parts, with just 2 to 3 huge castings. The house-sized machines have a clamping force of 55,000 to 61,000 kilonewtons, 5,600 to 6,200 tons of force, although it may vary depending on configuration and make. As Tesla appears to be diversifying its Giga Press suppliers, and not rely solely on Italy's IDRA. Switzerland's BUOOFCHLER and China's LK Group are other big players in the space. Giga casting benefits are multifold. The technology allowed Tesla to reduce Model Y manufacturing costs by 40%, as per Autoblog. For the Model 3, Tesla removed 600 robots from the assembly, as the Giga Press simplified production significantly. Meanwhile, Toyota has said the technology will reduce processes and plant investment by half. Another reason for the wider adoption of technology is the potential weight savings. EV batteries are heavy, and manufacturers look to compensate for the additional weight elsewhere. Giga Press presumably reduces carbon emissions as well by eliminating dozens of individual parts, although there are a few pitfalls to the technology. In case of accidents, replacing huge parts could cost a lot more than replacing smaller components. Moreover, it could be a painstaking task for legacy automakers with established manufacturing processes to incorporate giga casting. Source: reposted and summarized from Suvrat Kothari at Inside EVS.